welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WTL 2023 Kung Fu Cup Winter Round number 6. I'm of course your host, Live VIP, and with me I'm joined by the lovely, the beautiful people in the chat, and by all of these amazing players! Exclamation mark B. Wait, hold on. I gotta. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you wish to have a look at the back yourselves. We have a lot of amazing players tonight, a lot of amazing matches in the first round, but we have something that drew our attention. Drew everyone's attention, and I don't blame them because it's a ZVT, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Alkione, we have the German Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player representing KranKy Z Gaming. It is Oliveira. Also, yes, I see in the chat, live or from replays? Oh, yes, the cast is live, but I'm from a replay. Yes. Can confirm, Bobby, can confirm. I'm shaking, man. But yeah, this is a banger of a match already here. We have one of the best Zerg players in all of Europa, and we have one of the best Terrans in the entire world, the reigning world champion, facing off here and now. And I mentioned this before, but I love that Oliveira is active again. I think I mentioned this last night when we were casting WTL World Team League, how Oliveira had kind of dropped off a little bit. You know, he wasn't as active as he once was, especially after his TvZ run in the months leading after that. You know, he was a little bit more inactive, but in the months leading up to WTL Masters Winter, Oliveira is in shape. He's in form once again, and I am here for it. I'm ready for it. Shows what you got. So far, racks expand. He's not going for the low ground 2 racks, which Beyond, of course, is known for, and Oliveira does do from time to time. But here in game 1, we're calming things down. Standard opener. Hatch got spool as well out of Lambo. We're easing ourselves into this. Again, it's going to be a long night of KFC, so I hope you all have your chicken ready. Whether it's Korean fried chicken or Kentucky fried chicken, make sure you're on brand with a night of KFC, with a night of StarCraft, and I wish I could do the same. Very tempted. Very tempted. As we're going to be going for a 3cc build, so again, very economic out of Oliveira. That's a 3rd cc in the main base, and before starport, so very economic indeed. This should be leading into eventually a starport, could be into Banshee play as well. We'll keep an eye on the add-ons, we'll see kind of where they're swapped and how they are made. Back at home, we do have Lambo just chilling, could be droning on up, taking his own 3rd base on time, on location. Reaper rotates around and does confirm the location of said 3rd as well. So Oliveira is fully aware as to what is going on. Ducklings stream on a day that ends in Y? Unprecedented. Shaking my head. Always, Matthew, always. Always Ducklings stream. Every day, Matthew, every day. Hopefully we get, you know, I think I said this before, I'm looking forward to our break in New Year's. We usually take New Year's off. Usually. New Year's is off for us. That's when that's when I can finally rest. That's when my watch has ended. New Year's, baby. New Year's. Yeah. And actually a really interesting opener. This is looking like, okay, so we do have an add-on swap here for the Tech Lab on the starport, which is interesting. This would typically lead into Banshee play, but we have a Viking first out of Oliveira. So Oliveira is mixing things up here. With the Viking, he can help, of course, shut down these overlords. There are 2 of them. Sorry, there's 1 of them here on the right-hand side, poised to dive into the main. From here, we're going into a medevac, actually. Is this going to be a pseudo Hellbat push? Are we going to be seeing an armory thrown down as well? This is very odd out of Oliveira. You do love to see it. Again, he's kind of faking out Banshees. He's faking out BC as well by going Viking first, by clearing out all these overlords. And with all these Hellions, I mean, I'm feeling an armory. That would make the most sense given the situation. No, never mind. We're just going for a straight up Hellbat drop, okay? Or Hellion drop even. Let's go. And this Viking is clearing a path here for the Hellions as well as we're moving over towards the right-hand side. It looks like, oh, can we get one more? We can. A second Overlord goes down, but we have two more in position. Lambo is getting a fourth base. He's saturated on 3 bases. He's working towards Ling Bane. Very standard play out of Lambo. He's going for a lair. As he works towards his lair, he throws down his Baneliness for bathing speed. Here we go. We have Hellions on the left-hand side. We have the Hellion jump going in towards the right. Lings, they do catch wind. And the Lings, they are headed towards the main base. So good Overlord positioning here from Lambo. He's aware. He keeps up. Viking looking for a third Overlord kill. And we will get it, by the way. Oh my god. This Viking is doing its best Void Ray impression. Gee, killing 3 Overlords. Supply blocking Lambo. The Hellion drop didn't really come to fruition. We saw that Lambo was able to keep up and the Hellions were kept at bay. Behind this, we're getting our third CC up and running. So even though the Hellion drop didn't do any damage, it didn't need to because Oliveira was going for an economic opener anyway. So this doesn't really set Oliveira behind, and he still keeps everything alive. The Hellions, the Banshees, it's all still up and running, so this is still fine for Oliveira. He gets eyes on the 4th base location. He's aware that Lambo is expanding over on the right-hand side. And once again, he tries to slip in with that drop. Lambo has eyes on this. He has Lings, and even a Bailing in position. He should be able to keep up, and he does collapse on those Hellions. 1 Hellion goes down for 5 drops. Oh my god. Oh my damn. That was 5 words, Jesus. And we're getting a couple more drones here at the 4th base as well. The Hellions doing a surprising amount of damage. 5, 6 workers going down. Very nice here. Unfortunately, the medevac did fall. If it wasn't for the medevac, I would say that this is a really good moment for Oliveira. 7 drones, I mean, pretty damn good overall. But yeah, alas, we do have to back things up here as we take a moment to kind of take stock at where Oliveira is at. Something that's really interesting, as Oliveira is just saturated on 3 bases, moving out with his tank push, is that Lambo's been very tech heavy. He's drawn up to 4 bases, up to 83 workers, which is fine, but immediately he went 1-1 into a Hydra Den as well. Thankfully for Lambo, Oliveira is teching. He's working up towards additional gases, a 2nd factory, and that is a 4th CC on the way. So Oliveira, he's working on a later game. He's pushing onto creep, yes, but this is the most committed push from Oliveira. He's just clearing up creep, which means Lambo is getting away with this tech. He's getting away with, you know, working towards Hydras, towards Hive tech as well. Lambo's looking pretty comfortable. Tumors are going to be going down as Oliveira rotates around as well. Again, just clearing up as much creep as he can. We have another double jump moving out towards the right-hand side. I'm really curious. It looks like Oliveira is going to be expanding over towards the left instead. He's not mining through those mineral patches yet. Not yet, but I'm sure we're getting there. Oh, the Queen! Up! No, the Lambo! You may be thinking, oh, was there like a widow mine or something? No, that was a manual detonation. Lambo may be a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit jittery, but he did manually detonate all of his Bailings. I've been there before. If you're a Zerg player in the chat, I'm sure you can relate. Fun fact: after the 2nd time that happened in like a big ladder game, like in a macro game, after that I unbound it. I was I unbound manual detonation. I was like, nope. Never doing that again. That's, yeah, 1 too many times for me, Bobby. So yeah, kind of a rough moment here. I mean, we're in the 1st round of the tournament, so mistakes can happen at times. As Lambo is just going to be forcing the drop off of creep. Oliveira going to be backing off. He's maxed out himself. He's got a 4th base behind this. Now, what's important to get throughout this entire game, outside of the Hellions, Oliveira, he hasn't really been committing too hard to these pushes. He's been conserving his army. Now he's maxed out a 200 supply with his tanks. He's cleaned up a lot of this creep. Here we go. He's going to be hitting a timing here with +2. +2 about to kick in a couple of seconds. The tanks are getting sieged. That's a lot of tanks. Oh my god. That's a lot of tanks. And do we have enough Bailings here set up? Do we have enough to break this entrenched position? At the same time, a Ling Bane run by does take down the 4th. This is forcing Oliveira's hand. Ling Bane crashing into the natural base. Oliveira losing his 4th, losing 15 SCVs. But he's being forced all in. And can Lambo stop the all in? Uh-oh. Oliveira, there's no turning back, there's no turning around. We do have a massive surround being set up here. We're coming in from 2 angles, but there are so many tanks, and they tank so many shots. So many of those Banelings go down. Yeah, the tank positioning is just too strong. Oliveira, he can keep on pushing. At the same time, his third base is going down. The Ling Bane getting out of control. Oliveira, he may be losing everything back at home, but again, he's still up in army supply. We have more Banelings being morphed in. Lambo just trying to build up his army. Trying to buy some time. He's coming in. Does come in, and the Banelings, they crash into another 2 tanks. 3 tanks go down. Only 1 tank is left. Oliveira, he's running out of steam. He's running out of army, but he just keeps on pushing. He dives on top of the Hydras. The boys are being pulled. The tanks are coming up. GG gets called, and Oliveira, he has too much. He takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG. Very well played. Oliveira just snowballing out of control towards the end. Lambo did some great counter damage. Don't get me wrong. He sent out a lot of Ling Bane across the map. He killed the 4th straight up. He didn't even kill the middle line. He killed the 4th base, killed the middle line, annihilated the middle line at the 3rd base as well. That's all great. That's all good. But that's all supply that Lambo didn't have back at home to defend. And he forced Oliveira to go all in. He forced that commitment out of our Terran player. And Lambo, he could not sleep in the bed that he made. He couldn't deal with the outcome of his actions there, as Oliveira, he just sent it back. He just sent it all the way. And he just had too much. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, we're getting ready for game number 2. Alright, getting ready for it. As I'm just gonna quickly tweet, Pappy, the tweet. Oh, wait, there we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Radisson Station, we have the German Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion, the Red Zerg, down in the series, but looking to fight back. It is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Terran player representing KZ Gaming, DKZ, leading the series 1-0. It is Oliveira. Here we go. And I am a little bit shocked. This is the first time in like 2 weeks, unironically, the first time in 2 weeks, where we find ourselves on Radisson Station in a format that allows vetoes. We only ever see Radisson Station typically in WTL, in World Team League, where there are no vetoes allowed. So it's loser's pick, and you can pick whatever you want. But this made it through. This map did make it through, and I'm shocked. I'm a little bit in shock, a little bit in awe. Lambo, show us what you got. Lambo is opening up Gasless. I mentioned this before when casting Dark a couple of days ago on Golden Aura. There are certain maps where you can be giga greedy. This is one of them. Radisson Station, it's all about how greedy can you be, and Lambo, he's playing Gasless. He went hatch, pool into hatchery, into this 3rd base. He's just mining through those patches. And the reason why you want to be and you need to be as greedy as possible, because you can get away with it. Because there's no Reaper Cliff coming into the main, coming into the natural. There's a pocket base, which is safe. It's walled off by minerals, by a double line of minerals and a line of rocks as well. So you are safe and sound here back at home. There isn't really too much of anything to be concerned about. You can defend with purely queens in the early game, and there's no need to rush into link speed, because what's link speed going to give you? You yourself can't really be aggressive across the map. So if you're ever on this map, typically it's all about cutting as many corners as possible. And typically, I would favor the player that benefits a lot more from turtling up and defending. You know, on this map, Protoss players can get away with Skytoss. We've seen Protoss players go Skytoss against Terran, against Zerg. Likewise, Terran players can also try and go mech, right? They can wall off here on 4 bases. They can just make it happen. I'm curious what Oliveira's plan is going to be. Likewise, I'm curious how Lambo plans on punishing the economy and the greed of Oliveira. So far, we do have a 1-1-1. Interesting. So Oliveira is actually going to be aggressive, quite aggressive. He's doing the polar opposite of what you should do on this map, which also works. The last time we saw Cyril on this map, for example, he got all in and just died. I think it was Cyril versus Wayne, if I'm not mistaken, in WTL, where you can go for a Nidus all in. So likewise, Oliveira, he's going for a 1-1-1 tank first by, oh my god, rushing into a tank, no add-on swap, by the way. He's going to be setting up for a tank drop. And he can head towards the pocket base, he can head towards the natural, you can wedge your tank behind the mineral line and actually get it within range of the mineral line as well. This tank positioning is actually really dirty, so I wonder if that's his plan. Meanwhile, Lambo, because he opened up gases, now he takes his gases and he's going straight roaches. He's not going Ling Main, he's going Roach Ravager. Okay. Here we go. So again, I love this from Oliveira because this is a really good way to punish. Really good way to punish greed and a really good way to make use of this map. But this also means that if Oliveira's initial opener here doesn't do a lot of damage, then it's not going to be worth it. And he will at least kill the Overlord. He doesn't reveal the tank. Specifically, he was dropping the Marines, was keeping that tank alive, and Lambo does get supply blocked. Supply blocked here while he has nothing but roach production. He actually can't make anything. He's got 2 more Overlords on the way. Lambo, all he has to defend is Queens and Lings. And here we go. There's that tank spot that we were talking about. Again, if you do wedge your tank here between the gases, you can hit the mineral line. And I believe, oh yeah, we can hit it, yeah. We do have good target firing on the Medivac. But the Queens are exposed, they cannot transfuse, and will they go down? It looks like they will barely survive. We want the Queens, but the Queens will stand strong. And they don't kill the tank, but this is a disastrous start for Oliveira. Looking at the Unisol stab here, he did get 2 drones, that is true. He's back, oh, it's not over. He is back with vengeance with a 2nd tank. Once again, shelling away those Queens. They cannot transfuse, not anymore. Queen goes down. First Queen, 2nd Queen, 3rd Queen as well. Biles, they will connect. But a much better trade this time from Oliveira. He may not have killed too many workers, but he's denied a lot of mining time. Saves one of those tanks, and he killed how many Queens? 4 Queens. 4 Queens, a Ravager, 5 workers. Much better. I was about to say, we were about to get into the fact that, like, yo, Lambo, he'd gotten away with, like, going up to 3 bases. He's got a 4th on the way. He's been droning. And for him not to sustain too many losses, like, that was brutal. But thankfully for Oliveira, he was able to come back in with the 2nd drop. He redeemed himself a little bit more. And now he's working on the 3rd CC. Not just that, he's double expanding. We have a 4th CC on the way. And we have additional Raxes. It is not going to be mech. We have seen Oliveira play mech before, but that is not the case this time. He is going bio. Now, was that drop enough? That's the question. I don't think it was. We need to keep being active. Like, there's still, I feel like there's still a lot of pressure on Oliveira to keep being active and to keep moving out, keep looking to punish the economy, cripple the economy, get worker kills, get queen kills. We need to go just because of the delayed 3rd CC. Like, this is a much later 3rd than we're used to. If we had gone for a greedy opener, then I would say the inverse. I'd say the opposite here, where Lambo has to be the one looking to deal some damage. With a Spire on the way, I do think there's a lot of potential with mutas on this map. Once again, we are abusing this position, or making use of this position. And as we distract Lambo, in come some Liberators in towards the pocket base and the main as well. Lambo, can he keep up? So far, oh, not so much. 3 workers go down to the pocket base. We do have the main also under siege. At the same time, here comes the drop. Oliveira pushing into the pocket. Pushing into the natural. We'll be losing a tank to those biles, but 8 drones go down. The Liberators do shuffle around. 10 workers even, and we drop towards the 4th, and Lambo's being pulled apart. He's struggling to keep up. He's really struggling here. 13, 14 workers go down. Ay. And yeah, Lambo, he's stuck re-droning. He does have a couple of mutas on the way. They will help deal with the Liberator as we deny more mining. Another drone. Another drone goes down. Oliveira is still very active with this job, getting tumors. Getting whatever he can. Finally, the libs will go down. Looking at the vision here as Oliveira has seen the Spire. He has seen the Spire. He knows. He even spots the mutas as they pop as well. And what do we have at home to defend? We have turrets on the way. We have, of course, bio, not mech. So plenty of anti-air. And Lambo, he's got a lot of recovering to do. He's re-droning as we speak. He's back up to 80 workers. That is true. So you may be thinking about, oh, he's re-droned. Like, he's fine now, right? In a way, yes, he's fine economically now, but that has impacted his army. That means his army is lacking. He's still with Roach Ravager. You can see that he's trying to pivot away from Roach Ravager. We've got +2 melee on the way, so he wants to get into Ling Bane. And because he's investing in these upgrades, because he's investing in Bailing speed, this is all gas being spent on tech, which means the muta count isn't actually that high. Yes, we have mutas, but we have 9 mutas. This is enough to harass, basically. It's just a harassing force. We're not really committing to mass muta. It's only to harass, and can we even get any value here? Because the turrets are done. We have Marines in position. You can see even a marauding force here on the right hand side in the pocket base. Like Oliveira, he's looking for those mutas. He wants to shut them down. Scan into the main reveals no additional tech. Lair still not done. Sorry, Hive still not done. Infestation bits on the way. Mutas come in. They get one SCV. And we can see that Oliveira is now turtling. He may not be playing mech, but basically, this is the way of TvZ. If you do end up losing map control, if you end up losing your drops, which did of course happen, Lambo did hold, Oliveira, he's just taking a very strong defensive position here. Turrets, sensor towers, tanks, we're just turtling up on 4 bases, and now we have a 5th CC on the way. Now, Oliveira, he should be turtling until he maxes out. Lambo is maxed, Oliveira is still on the way. He's incorporating Thors. Widow Mines, Drilling Claws just finished up, 2 2s on the way. Oliveira is being active at least with a drop. As Lambo is trying to double expand, triple expand even, taking the goal base and 2 bases on the right hand side as well. We can see Oliveira can't really do much about it, not yet. Lambo going to be moving on out. Trying to dive on this army. And Oliveira, he's not quite set up for this. Thankfully, very wide open and 0 creep here. This is not where Lambo wants to fight. 2-2 just now finishing for both players. 3-3 on the horizon. Now we are up to 13 mutas, so we did invest a little bit more heavily into them. The rocks are still standing strong, the tank's getting within range. And the mines! Oh, Widow Mine's going to be going off on the Lings. The Bane is a crash on forward, but that's it with the Ling Bane. Bane does get cleaned up, and now Oliveira, he can keep on pushing. Now, he cannot threaten these bases on the right-hand side. They're just too far away, but he can threaten the goal. As a scan does reveal it. Again, this goal base and all this creep going to be buying a lot of time here for Lambo, as he is going for a bit of a muta counterattack here. We have reinforcements though. Yeah, they're in position. More turrets being thrown down. We can see Oliveira rotating over towards that Zonaga, towards the gold. Ooh, big mine shot going off as well. And Oliveira, oh, we have to be very careful with those mutas. They're very fragile. As Lambo tries to come in from multiple angles. The Banelings, they more or less crash onto the Thor. Not the best connections there from Lambo. Yeah, the Banelings are trickling on in. The rocks are being knocked down. And Oliveira, he can keep on pushing. There's not enough Ling Bane to stop him. Uh-oh. There are 2 Banelings. 2 Banelings left with the army, and that is not enough. We need more splash damage. If we don't have Bailings, we need Infestors or anything else. There it is, 17 Bailings on the way. There are those Infestors that we were talking about. 2 Infestors in production as well. And Oliveira will get on top of this hatchery. Here comes Lambo, though. Oliveira's on 5 bases, also on 80 workers. Lambo just trying to hold on to this position. Bailings have been remade. Even gets a medevac as well. How many mines do we have? We actually don't have that many Widow mines, which is a little bit concerning. We don't have that much splash damage. But the hatchery will go down nonetheless. Meanwhile, Lambo trying to set up for a flank. Trying to come in from behind. As he has been spotted. Is going to be zoned away. Oof. Once again, Bailing's caught off creep. We can't allow that to happen. Now, Lambo does have some Infestors. He's looking for those Fungals. Here we go. The Bio Army does turn back around. Decent Fungals here. The Bailings, they roll in. But the spread is so good. Oh my god. The pre-split out of Oliveira. A little bit too difficult to push into, but we have reinforcements. Oh, the Bailings. Do not quite connect. As Oliveira keeps on pushing. He can't stop. He will not stop. He does have to respect the creep, though. And yeah, by diving too far into creep, we do catch a Thor. Oh my god. We were going to catch a Thor. But yeah, this is not the best fight here from Oliveira. He's going to be losing too much to Lynx. They're snowballing out of control. Oliveira, he has to retreat. Again, just went too far onto creep. Things snowballed a little too quickly. Decent mine connections. Good SimCity here as well. And now it's going to be Lambo's turn to make sure he doesn't overextend. He's going to back off from here. 3-3 is done. We have an Ultra Cavern on the way. Now finishing up. I believe we still don't have Kindness. No, we do have Kindness Plating and Ultra Speed. We're ready for it. Oliveira going to be scanning. He gets eyes on some of these other fresh mining bases. Gold is being retaken. Likewise, Oliveira expanding towards the top left. Now again, because there's no creep out here, Oliveira can still actually engage. Just have to be careful. Some of the mutas are being caught out. Bailings weren't quite with the main army either. Yeah, like, it's a really interesting dynamic because the center of the map here is so open, but yet also so large as well. Even though Lambo has momentum, even though he was maxed out for the past like 20 seconds or so, like, because of the lack of crease spread, because of the damage that Oliveira was dealing earlier, like, he's still safe at home. Oh, as I say that, a massive fungal! A massive connection on the army, on the medevacs as well. Oh, the Biles will connect. So many medevacs go down, and that may just be it. That may be too much. Ay. Yeah, as Oliveira, he's lost control of the center of the map, and Lambo, he can break through. GG gets called. And Lambo will take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Oliveira, he was stabilizing. He was coming back in that game. But alas, got caught out in the open, got caught by those fungals, and then very quickly, things escalated out of control. GG, Lambo does fight back. When it comes to Oliveira's playstyle here on this map, I did like it overall. The opener was interesting to me. Because of the opener, Oliveira, he put a lot of pressure on himself to do damage. Like, usually we have the Terran player, or Oliveira in this case, would have been more greedy and more economic, and then there would have been more pressure on Lambo to be dealing damage instead. But no, we had like the inverse there, where like Oliveira was the one who had to kill workers and kill queens, and yeah, it was a really interesting dynamic. I understand the logic. Remember, there's that really strong position behind the natural where you can set up your tanks and you can hit the mineral line. And Oliveira was able to make use of that a little bit, but I don't think he really got the damage that he was hoping for. And because of that, he didn't quite get a lot of momentum in the early game, the momentum that he needed. Things, of course, did settle and stabilize, but because of the early game, like, Oliveira, he was fighting for control of the center of the map. He was never able to really threaten the other side, right? The mining bases of Lambo. That's what's important. There was no drop play afterwards. It was just these big pushes from Oliveira. And Lambo, he was able to get away with an uncontested economy, which is something you don't get to see too often. And again, I do think a lot of that did come down to the map. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner, tying up the series 1-1. We have representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Terran player, the reigning world champion, representing KranKy Gaming. It is Oliveira. And I feel like on a map like Oceanborn, Oliveira is going to be feeling a lot more comfortable. It can be far more aggressive on this map, can be more in the face of Lambo as well. And likewise, we'll see if Lambo can keep up with the aggression of Oliveira. See if he can keep up with it. As for now, standard openers. Standard openers map. What's this in the chat? I would get with Lambo, but I would be thinking of Oliveira. Oh. Ay. It's hard. It's not hard not to think about Oliveira. He's so wholesome, Bob. He's so wholesome. Very easy player to get behind. Ay. Just a normal man. Normal human being. Just doing what he can. Just trying to survive. Let's go. As again, Lambo going for a hatch gas pull. Oliveira, we'll keep our eyes on his opener as well. Racks expand. If you remember last game, he went for a 1-1-1 as a follow-up into a Hellion drop. Sorry, into a tank drop. But of course, that was very map specific. Pretty sure that tank drop opener would not, or we wouldn't really see that on a map like Oceanborn. More on Radisson Station. And this is where we get to talk about the maps a little bit here, as we do have a decent 3-base setup. There we go, Lambo taking his triangular third, a very solid setup here on 3 bases. The fourth is where things get a little bit more interesting, where it's actually quite difficult to take a 4th base on this map. We've casted many a ZVT on Oceanborn. I've seen a lot of Dark on Oceanborn, and maybe it's just a Dark thing, but if you remember, I think it was Dark versus Beyond a couple of days ago in ESL Cup Asia. The finals of ESL Cup Asia, where Dark, he just could not take a 4th. Just could not take a 4th base for like 15 minutes. We've seen that against Clem, against Gumiho, like specifically on this map, it is quite difficult to hold on to it, especially if the Terran player is very aggressive, if they're set up on their own 4 bases. We'll see if Oliveira is one to do the same as, once again, a 1-1-1. Mine drop? Wait, what? Wait, what is happening right now? I need to keep my eye on Oliveira. So we have a 1-1-1 opener. So once again, Oliveira, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself to get damage done. He is delaying his 3rd TC in favor of this starport. He goes for a Widow Mine first into Tech Lab. This isn't lined up for an add-on swap, so it's going to be a drop. But it's a Tech Lab, not a second Widow Mine, so it's not a mine drop. Is it another tank drop? It is. Okay. Alright. So remember like a minute ago when I was like, yeah, we're not gonna see another tank drop. That's like specific to Radisson Station. I stand by that statement, by the way. I do think that is like a better build and a better opener on Radisson Station. Okay, and we're going for a very interesting variation here. This is the beginning of a 2-base all-in, by the way. So we're going for our initial drop, and this is going to be hunting down Overlords. We don't just delay the 3rd and get our starport. We throw down 2 more Raxes as well, without a 3rd CC. So this screams 2-base all-in. We can still take a 3rd base after this, but it's going to be very delayed. Like, this is a very committed build here out of Oliveira. The aggression is real. Meanwhile, the drop moves out once again, trying to hunt down additional Overlords. He got one. One Overlord did go down. And Oliveira is going to be rotating around as well. And again, this isn't quite a tank drop. This is just a setup for a massive push. Stim halfway done. Again, we're looking for more stray overlords. This does feel very Beyond. Like, Beyond recently has been very aggressive as well. Very all in. Fourth base is being taken. Marines are in position. But we can see the Queens and Lings aren't too far behind. And Lambo should be able to hold on. But, oh, good target firing. Due force a cancel on the fourth. Drop does get the hell out of there. Lambo working towards Burrow. I love it. We do have a Baneling nest. There it is. Baneling speed is on the way. With Burrow, we can set up Baneling mines. And against an all-in, Baneling mines are king. Not just because of the potential for damage, but also because if you're 2-base all-in, you don't have a lot of scans. You're muling very hard. And here we go. Here comes a push. Now, Lambo, he sees that there is no third. And for now, this is, I mean, you know, maybe the third base is about to be landed. He's trying to check, trying to figure out what's going on. He does see the push. Does see the army moving out. Burrow is done. Banelings are out. Show us the mines. Show us, papi. Now, there's the third CC. Very late third. This push needs to get damaged. This isn't like, oh, he's just pressuring and we can just transition that. No. We need to... not even canceling the fourth. The fourth is not enough. We need to do more than that. So far, some good tank shots here on the Ling Bane. Fourth base is going to be canceled. That's fine, but we need to keep going. Because Lambo, he's double expanding. He's expanding towards the center. Good sim. He does get one of the queens. Does get two. Two queens do go down. A good trade there from Oliveira as he's just edging on closer towards that third. Again, really good tank positioning here. Covering that ramp, covering the high ground. At the same time, a drop on the right-hand side, and we do see Lambo getting ready for a full surround. Uh-oh. The surround is upon us. And Marines getting a little bit too ambitious there. Oh, they're stuck. No. Yeah, and Lambo, oh, he takes out the medevac, takes out more Marines. The drop here on the right-hand side is going to be denying the fourth base, but I'm really concerned about this army. As Lambo, he collapses in this position, and he will clean this up. Good tank shots, good Marine positioning as well, and the Marines will at least escape. But 3 tanks will go down. No. This... there's lava there for a reason. That was a kill, not a cancel. That's 300 minerals down the drain. Oliveira, he's getting damage done. Kills the fourth. Picks up, gets the hell out of there. And Lambo has been hurting. And we mentioned this before, it is quite difficult to actually establish a fourth base on this map, but we've seen Lambo deny it twice, but he's double expanding. Again, very important to double expand to make sure that one of them gets up and running. Speaking of, another double jump moving out towards the left-hand side. Third base is being taken. Has Oliveira done enough damage? I want to say yes, especially because Lambo is still on 3-base saturation. He's still on less than 60 workers because he's been making nothing but Ling Bane to make sure he doesn't die. And here we go. We have a double drop towards the south, double drop towards the north. The goal, deny these bases, deny those hatcheries. Up! Good target firing on the Banelings. Not a single Marine went down. Very nicely done here by Oliveira. At the same time, the drop has been spotted. You see Lambo rotating around. Now, even though Lambo has been struggling to take a fourth, he has been focusing on his creep. And his creep in the center of the map, not looking too bad. The Ling Bane is keeping up. We have Liberators moving out. Again, Oliveira still looking to deny these hatcheries. Up! Spain is going to be rolling it in. Not the best connections from Lambo. Tanks push on forward as well. Oliveira, he's committing. Meanwhile, we drop into the natural, but there are queens here. Yeah, and the Marines, they have to be left behind. There was no saving them. A rough moment there for Oliveira. Once again, he's pushing on the left. And it looks like he is going to get a base. This hatchery is going to be going down. At the same time, we do have a Ling counterattack into the mineral line. Oh, a little bit hesitant there, though. Doesn't get any SCVs. A lot of Lings go down. The tank survives as well. Meanwhile, Oliveira, he does get a base. Liberator's going ham in the main, and can Oliveira deny the fourth once again? Oh, there's an Infestor. Up, the fungal! The fungal, Bobby! Erases the army. Still save what we can. And again, really good tank position here on the left-hand side, and we are going to trade a little bit better here for Oliveira. But Lambo gets a fourth. It's not fully operational, but he does get it. It's alive. It took some hits, but it's still good. We'll see if he can get it up and running. Behind this, we have a 4CC on the way. Oliveira, he's now rotating his main army towards the right-hand side. He now has his target. Meanwhile, no creep here on the left. Oliveira is still keeping the attention of Lambo here. Good target firing on the Bailing. As Oliveira is about to be cleaned up. Now we focus on the left. Is he looking? Up! He is! Pungo does connect with the army. Tanks are being dropped in, and one tank goes down, a second tank as well. And a third tank. Oliveira being a little bit too wasteful, very wasteful here on the towards the right-hand side. Marines are doing what they can. Another big fungal. These fungals, they've been the MVPs, to be honest. The fungal growths actually locked down the tanks and the medevacs. They couldn't be picked up. But Oliveira still has momentum going his way, and these Infestors, they're out of energy. Vipers have arrived. Hive is done. Lambo still on 60 workers. But Oliveira, he wants this base. He's not turning back without it. It's like, mate, we're on Oceanborn. You have a fourth base. That should be dead. Let me fix that for you. Let me... You see Lambo getting ready for a big surround here on this army. How good are the mine shots gonna be? Oh my god. Pretty good mine shots overall. But yeah, we will collapse on this tank. The tank will go down. The Marines will be cleaned up as well. Oh, a queen is gonna fall. So barely do keep some of these other queens alive. And oh, Lambo, he holds. Does hold on to his bases. He now has a pretty robust army. He didn't have any fungals for this fight because we mentioned before that he had spent his energy, but oh my god, so getting more drones. But now he does have enough energy once again. The Infestors, they have rested, they've recuperated, they have fungals available. But Oliveira still has a lot of momentum going his way. He's still up in army supply, he's up in workers, he has a fourth. Lambo trying to get a fifth. He's pushing in. Ooh, massive mine connection. GG gets called. It's just too much. Lambo did not have an economy to sustain himself. And Oliveira will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. And that entire game, Lambo, he was fighting to actually get a fourth. He finally got a fourth up and running towards the end. But as we were pointing out, he never had more than 60 workers. He was stuck with a very low drone count. And... yeah, he just wasn't trading efficiently enough to really afford a lower worker count. He needed a fourth and a fifth base much faster, but he was successfully contained for too long. And Oliveira got out of control. Remember at the end there, Oliveira had 70 workers against like the 58 of Lambo. It was crazy. Oliveira could keep pushing, Lambo could not. And with that, Oliveira will advance on in the tournament. And we need to take a moment here to actually catch up with everything that's been going on. Oh, we know. There's a lot to go over. Let me just quickly switch regions. Let me quickly hop regions here to make sure that we aren't left behind.